everyone, today I have 5 new foundations to talk about with you. These are all new launches that have come out this year at the drugstore or online as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started because I have a lot to say about each of these. The first one I'm going to talk about is probably the most, when it came out, everyone rushed to go get it, and I have a lot to say about it, and I feel like a lot of people either love this foundation or hate it, and I think it has a lot to do with your skin type. The one I'm speaking about is the Maybelline Dream Velvet. This is a soft matte hydrating foundation. The color that I got was Nude 40. And this is supposed to be like a whipped foundation. It's very whipped. And it says it's gel, but it's supposed to go on the skin and kind of smooth over any imperfections and kind of smooth them out and make it very soft and like velvety and matte. And at first this foundation goes on just like that. It's very, very thick. Like when it goes on, it is very whipped and very thick and very matte. It just looks like high coverage, and you have so much expectations from this, and right away it goes on and it feels so nice. Like even when it goes on the very first time, it goes on full coverage. It covers all your imperfections. It is pretty thick and like velvety and like a moussey texture, and it feels really good. My problem with this foundation is that I have oily skin, and it doesn't work for oily skin, to be honest. It starts to separate once your oils, for me, once my oils reach the surface, which was in 2 hours or in an hour or so, my oils started peeking through the foundation and it started to separate the foundation. It sounds really gross, but it just looked really bad on my skin. It started to really separate and kind of bunch in places where I didn't want it to. For instance, right here in the forehead, where everywhere where your oils come out. So it was all this area, and then where it doesn't bunch over, it does look smooth, and but it just started to separate. And I tried this foundation so much because so many people like it, and I wanted to give it a good go. So I put this on for a good few times. I even bought the little sponge that went with it, which is not like a beauty blender, not like any kind of beauty sponge. It's really just, it doesn't even expand when you wet it. It just stays the same. And honestly, the only thing I do with that is I cake my under eye with it, or not cake, I bake my under eye with it, and that's it. So I didn't even like the sponge. It was pretty expensive for a foundation at the drugstore, and it was not good for my skin, which is oily and textured skin. So I'm gonna have to pass on this, and honestly not recommend it if you have oily skin. Another product that if you have oily skin they told you to stay away from, but in my opinion I really liked it. It's the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion Buildable Luminous Foundation. The color I got was W3, and it's a cushion compact foundation, so that means that it's a liquid foundation, but it's behind a cushion, so they just kind of, what I'm assuming is saturated the cushion with the liquid foundation, and you're to apply it with this sponge. So it's kind of like sponge on sponge on sponge, and it's supposed to give you like really soft, kind of buildable skin. And I really like this foundation. It didn't, like a lot of people said if you have oily skin, stay away from it. I didn't find that to be true. So it's very cushiony, as you can see here when you press it, and it just goes on very luminous and very, just really pretty. It is medium coverage, and you can build it up, or you can just kind of go over sparingly what you just want to have lighter coverage. So you can kind of use it into a heavier coverage. My only complaint with this product is that you don't get a lot at all. You get 0.51 ounces. In a regular foundation like this one, for instance, you get 1 ounce. So you get half of it in this one, and you can really tell because it's liquid, so you just want to apply more on, and it just doesn't go very far. Like I put this on for a month and that was all that it would let me. So other than that, the foundation is very nice because it's going through a cushion, and I use this cushion. A lot of people didn't want to. I also did my beauty blender in there, but I didn't find that to be as full coverage. You can, I mean, the whole point is to put it on through 2 cushions so that your face looks very pillowy soft. Really like this foundation. It looks really soft on the skin, and it looks so like breathable and just very natural. My only complaint, other than the 0.51 ounces, is that it's very expensive. It's the most expensive of the drugstore right now. It's $15, and you don't get a good amount for it. So I don't think I'm gonna buy this again just because of that. But all in all, I really enjoy this foundation. So it just depends. To me, it was a lot of money for not a lot of product, but if you really like it did look really natural on the skin. So if it's on sale, I might get it. Staying with the drugstore, the next one I'm going to talk about is my probably second favorite and favorite from the drugstore right now. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. The color I got was Natural 02. And I am very impressed with this foundation. I know a lot of people are raving about it as well. And I just love it. I love the bottle. I love the package. It's a nice glass bottle. It has a pump, which is actually a really nice pump. And I love the ombre look. I love that it has gold letters. Milani always hits the nail on the head with the packaging. But beside that, the coverage is amazing. I love it. It's a very medium to full, heavy foundation. So if you like that kind of thick feeling, you're gonna like this. If you don't like it, what I recommend to do, because sometimes I just don't want it to feel so heavy on the skin. So what I would do is mix a dabble of this, a drop of oil with this, and it just looks amazing on the skin. It says it's lightweight, oil-free formula, long-wearing, water-resistant, and sweat-proof. And I have to say, with all of the foundations, this one doesn't have any transfer, and that's impressive because it's such a thick foundation. This one here had so much transfer, and no. This one has 0 transfer. Like you could touch your face later on and you don't feel that kind of like, you know, when you're like you have to wash your hands afterward. Very thick, the consistency, and it's kind of like this whipped texture consistency. Very thick, but very full coverage. But it feels good on the skin. Like even though it's thick, it doesn't feel like heavy foundation. So I really enjoyed that. This foundation has quickly rose to be one of the top drugstore foundations for me. I'm definitely going to go back and get some other colors, and I might put this in my kit because I really liked it. Speaking of my kit, I bought this because I wanted to stock this with my kit because I heard great things about it and I was not impressed. I mean, I like it, but I just heard so many amazing things that I was just like, okay, I'll pay the $40 for it. And actually it turned out to be a lot more due to shipping. But this is the LC Micro Silk Foundation. The color I got was Warm Ivory, which I never ever get anything in the ivory. And I like the bottle. I like the look of it. I love the shape. I love that it's glass and it's like frosted. And it has a pump, which I love as well. You do have to give this a good shake. I don't know. I was just expecting so much more from this foundation. And I honestly think the Milani one is a lot better in my opinion. Then this one, this is really nice, but for the price tag, I was just expecting so much more. And because I heard so many people talking about this, I just, again, expected a lot more. But yeah, it does look very nice and it feels good on the skin and all that. It just doesn't have as much coverage as I would have wanted. And it's just kind of one of those, like, it reminds me a lot of the, what are those foundations from the drugstore? They come in like that little bottle. I'm gonna have to think of it. It reminded me a lot of that foundation, just not too, but not too, like, it's just kind of riding the line of good, or of great and good. And for the price tag, to me, it wasn't like I need to go, like, I wanted to buy this to stock my kit with it, and now I just don't really feel the need. Hands down, my very favorite of all of these foundations, and probably my very favorite foundation that I have purchased, and I'm wearing it today, and I feel like my skin looks good today. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. This has SPF, and the color I got was Fair 4. And first of all, the bottle is gorgeous. It looks so glam. And Charlotte Tilbury always looks so, like, the packaging is always amazing. So she's got her like a frosted, really nicely shaped bottle. The letters are in like a nude color, and this is like a little nude thing here. The top is rose gold. It does have a pump, and you just pump it out. It reminds me a lot of this pump, like it looks very similar. When I got it, I was like, this must be the same company that uses this pump. What this foundation does that sets it apart from all the others is it has the magic ability to, like, erase your pores. And that's a tough feat for my face. I don't know what it is. I think it's a little bit of her, like, just like magic fairy dust that she dips into all her products, because I got a few samples of the magic cream, her magic cream, and oh my gosh, I have to get it if it wasn't so damn expensive. I put all the information down below. All the links for each of these products will be listed in my blog, which will be listed below. If you have large pores like me, and oily skin, and just texture and a lot of issues, which is what I have, you have to buy this foundation. It's so nice for people who have textured, oily, porous skin, and it just delivers really smooth skin, which is the only thing I ever look for in foundations. It's smooth skin, and this delivered 100%, and I will definitely buy another bottle. And all in all, these two foundations are the best out of all of them, drugstore wise, and if you're gonna go very high end, I think this one is one of the best ones. So I think for the most part, these two are gonna be the ones that I'll be using moving forward. So I will talk to you all very soon. Until next time, stay fancy.